Hello students, hello everybody. This is so one of alternative class, which means epidemiology video class with YouTube and also Zoom class. So just when we start from the very beginning of the meaning of epidemiology and so then the definition of epidemiology. As now, epidemiology is the science of inquiry and so the science of solving a problem. Even if epidemiology is the cornerstone of the public health. And so the originated word of the epidemiology is from the three Greek word which means epi, demo, and logos. As noun, epi, which is equals to up or man or before. And so as noun from the very beginning of grade 7, 9, 10, demo, which is equals to population or district, and logos, that one is just a study or doctrine. That one is so mathematically which is equals to epidemiology. So here is all about the meaning of epidemiology. And so as definition, just as we say is epidemiology is the cornerstone of public health, and so epidemiology is so the solution of or the science of solving health problems, and as now epidemiology is the science of inquiry. That one is the definition of epidemiology, which means in general the definition of epidemiology is so it is a study of anything happening to the people. Just here is all about the very beginning originated word of the epidemiology, just EP plus demo plus logos, mathematically which is equals to epidemiology. Just here is up on or people, that one plus people or district, population or man, with the study of or log doctrine ones which is equals to epidemiology. So just as noun, so it is so the definition of epidemiology, which means epidemiology is a study of anything that happens to the people. So here is simple definition of the epidemiology as noun. All about here is the definition of epidemiology, which means in general it is also the application of this study to the control of healthy problems. You see, just in from the very beginning of Oxford definition and so current definition of the epidemiology, may some scholars' definition of the epidemiology is here. It is a science which study the distribution and so determinants of the health and health-related events in the population, and the application of this science knowledge for the promotion of healthy and may prevention with control of the disease. May here is to the reason of this the modern definition of the epidemiology. In epidemiology definition there are three words which means distribution, frequency, and so determinants. Those are so just epidemiology is a study of or epidemiology is a study of the distribution and so determinants of the health related status or events in a specified population. That one is application of this study to the control of healthy problems. So here is the word in simply what we discussed from the originated word from the Greek word once is here, you see. So just here is some scholar definition of the epidemiology. Some scholar says it is so the science of epidemic. To the reason of this, as this definition, or in the sense of this definition, the study of the distribution and the power action or the dynamic of the disease in the human population, which means here is so the power action of the disease in the population. So the study of this science is the study of the distribution and determinants of the health related especially. And the other current definition of the epidemiology is so just it is a matter of frequency, distribution, and determinants ones. That one is a study of the frequency, distribution, determinants of the disease and other health-related problems in human population. And so the application of this to the prevention and control of health problems. So, there is several objectives in epidemiology, but in simply as this class, there are around three objectives of the epidemiology, just as this class. The first one is to describe the distribution and the magnitude of the healthy and the healthy problem in the population. Then the next one is to identify the etiology factor, which means the risk factor in the population. And also the second one is as generally to provide the essential data to the planning, implementation and the evaluation of service for the prevention, control and the treatment of disease and the to setting up of the especially priority for the service. So in epidemiology, just there are many aim in epidemiology, but you can categorize into parts, which means the aim of the epidemiology, just the first one is to eliminate or reduce the healthy problem or its consequence. And so the general specific of epidemiology aim gets to promote the health and the well-being of the society as a whole. So just simply to eliminate or reduce the health problems and its consequences, and so to promote the health and the well-being of the society as a whole. And so the next one is the purpose of epidemiology. Why epidemiology? The purpose of epidemiology is first the investigates natures, and so the study of natural history of the disease and the progress of the health-related problems, and so to identify the cause and the risk factor, Then after to recommend or evaluate all about the preventive and the therapeutic measure may as a last to provide the foundation for public policy. In epidemiology, especially in disease issues, the component of epidemiology are two parts, which means here is as disease issue, just disease frequency and the distribution of the disease, which means the disease frequency and the distribution of the disease, which means when in disease frequency, just rate and the ratio, just for example, rates, which means incidence rate, there is prevalence rate, and so it is. And so the next one is ratio, may sex ratio or doctor population ratio or pharmacist population ratio, and so on. And so the next one is the distribution of the disease, which means disease in the community, And so there are several terms in the epidemiology. There are three terms or three words or three contents or three terms in epidemiology, which means frequency, distribution, and so determinants ones. The frequency ones it is a matter of number or the quantitative ones. You see, that one is as frequency. It is a quantitative science. The quantitative science is so statistical science. The statistical science means epidemiological science because of that. Epidemiology is a disease method, so that is relating to the disease. That one is simply as this class. It is major frequency of the occurrence, and so means in the sense of this, it is assist occurrence of this in the number. To the result of this, you see in epidemiology, of course, there are three terms, which means frequency, distribution, and so determinant ones. So the frequency one is so the matter of number. The matter of number one is the quantitative number. The quantitative number is so it must statistical number. Statistical numbers means in this science it is epidemiological number. The epidemiological number means in the sense of as the science is inequal, it is so the inequal number. So the next one is the distribution. Here is especially the keyword in the definition are may. Just the same is true. Frequency ones, that one is distribution. Distribution just who, and so when of occurrence of health in health related events. And so the next one is the third one is so determined ones. That one is so it's a matter of factors. The matter of factors, the biological may climate ones, and so the matter of factor in this term. Just it reference to why diseases occur in certain place or in the other in a certain period which means it reflects to why disease occurs in a certain breed or in certain population group. So the next one is just all about this is several definition of determinants and also frequency with distribution ones. Here is all about the very beginning of definition of what I meaning of the epidemiology. Just in epidemiology, there is steady. Simply steady means it is a procedure, or it means it is so the discipline or the process or the guideline or the steps once or the plans once, which means it is in epidemiology study means it is a scientific discipline which has its own foundations on the method of scientific inquiry, which means as epidemiology is so the science of inquiry, just that one is so the foundations on, which means in simply special the method of scientific inquiry. To the reason of this, epidemiology is a basic science in public health, which means it is a basic science of public health. So, just as we say, epidemiology is the science of inequality, epidemiology is the cornerstone of public health, and epidemiology is so, it is the science of solving health problem, even if epidemiology is the cornerstone, but with this, it is the basic science of public health. So, it is all about what we discussed from the very beginning of the epidemiology. And so, in epidemiology, there are several applications. Of course, the application of epidemiology just on the governmental, healthcare, and so practitioner, or we can categorize in two, which means governmental and healthcare, and so practitioner ones. But as a whole or as a general of the application of the epidemiology, just so to prevention and the control of health problems. That one is epidemiology provide information for the action. Provide information for the action. Of course, as now it is applied science. It's applied science which means direct practical applications. To all about here is epidemiology is provide information for action. In the other words, just as now here is all about application of epidemiology. Yes, this is applied science. Of course, it is so the ultimate purpose of all epidemiology study. It is the prevention and also control of health problems. So, to the reason of this, the overview or the single overview objective of epidemiology as now it is everything we do direct or everything we do must directly improve the health of the people. Of course, as all about health professionals motto, just to maximize health benefit and so minimize the risk of the patient, especially in the work professionals, especially in pharmacy, just to improve and maintain the quality life of the patient. That one is in general the single overview or objective of the epidemiologist. Just everything we do must directly improve in the health of the population. Just of course here is just an epidemiology, which means philosophical study of the health problem. Of course, it is so an art. And so it is so the side or the science or so the wider science. And all about here is the philosophy of or philosophical study of health problem in epidemiology. Here is all about especially human disease can be prevented, which means just have preventive factors. And so the next one is epidemiologist's art, which means the art of epidemiology. Just here is epidemiology art, it is the art, and so it is a science. As now, even if epidemiology is a combination of art and so science, to the reason of this, just a skill of appropriateness or creativity in innovation, which means insight, new research, innovates new research, and so especially here is all about the art of epidemiology, exact observation, especially correct interpretation, and so we have rational explanation, and so especially scientific construction. Yes, here is why epidemiology is art, And so the next one is why epidemiology is the science. It's all of it follows, especially in epidemiology. Of course, it follows all basic, and so especially it has an order and definitive purpose in epidemiology. Of course, as now, and so it is systematic. Even if it is systematic, and the whole sequence, especially to the reason of this epidemiology is so a science, and so it follows the ethics. You see. So here is especially why epidemiology is science, and so it has wider and acceptable application. So here is all about epidemiology. So as generally it just all cover the objective of epidemiology is to so all about here, and so the next one is a sequence or epidemiological sequence, and the purpose is here just from the very beginning go identify the diseases or health problems, and especially link with the cause and the risk factor, and establishing the causal relationship, and all about especially designing an intervention for controlling health problem, even if the evaluating effectiveness of intervention. That one is all about the epidemiological sequence, and so the scope of epidemiology. Yes, it is so all from the very beginning of epidemic to the last of the chronic disease, and so the next one is approach of epidemiology. In epidemiology, as science or as studies, there are two studies in acquired science, which means observational study and so interventional or experimental study. And in observational studies, there are two approach of the system, which means analytical and so distributive ones. You see, here is the approach ones, or systemic, or the approach of epidemiology. In epidemiology's approach, there are two approaches, which means distributive and so analytical ones. Just as this course, or as this class, just the distributive epidemiology ones is concerned with describing the frequency in the distribution of disease and other health-related condition by the pattern, which means pattern means time, place, and so a person. May in distributive, just the characteristic of this approach, especially just all about to describe the occurrence of disease fully the following words, which means question just who is affected and when do the cause occur and how many. Just this is so all about a distributive approach of epidemiology characteristic, and so the next one is the analytical one. In analytical approach of the epidemiology, there are why and how word, which means